Warning, 30 Screams or Less may contain spoilers about movies that have recently been released. If you haven't seen the movie, go watch it, come back, and enjoy the show. Or, if you don't want to waste your time watching the movie and rather have two random horror dudes watch it for you, we got you covered as well. Welcome everyone to 30 Screams or Less, a horror movie podcast where we review horror movies in 30 minutes or less. Today's movie we're going to be talking about is Dark Match. It's written and directed by Lowell Dean, starring Ayisha Issa as Misbehave, Stephen Ogg as Mean Jolene, Mo Aiden as Enigma, Sarah Canning as Kate the Great, and Chris Jericho as the leader. So there's a good reason why we just name all of those characters, because they're all pretty pivotal in this movie. But the plot of this movie is a small-time wrestling company accepts a well-paying gig in a backwoods town only to learn too late that the community is run by a mysterious cult leader with devious plans for their match. But before we get into it, Corey, last night I was looking in the mirror and you know what? My beard was looking gnarly. And I said to myself, I can't look like this. I got to do something. So I decided to break out Beard Octane's beard wash and conditioner along with their beard oil, and dude, my beard looked amazing. I'm glad you turned me on to Beard Octane.
Yeah, of course. Like I said, I've been using their products for years and I can vouch for them. And whether you're pounding IPAs or chopping wood, you got to look your best. Visit beardoctane.com and use the code 30screams10 at checkout for a 10% discount. It helps us, and like I said, the products are absolutely incredible. They're local too. They're based out of Connecticut. So help them out and support small businesses. We're not just slinging beard grooming supplies. We've been using them for a while.
Yeah, we have. 30 Screams or Less starts now. Corey, what did you think of Dark Match?
So anyone who has listened to us for the past 3 years knows that we both love horror and wrestling. So naturally, I was really excited to watch this because it combines these two things. In my personal opinion, Chris Jericho is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, so that pulled me into wanting to watch this even more. I thought it was pretty fun and entertaining, but overall, I just didn't love it.
Yeah, I can see that. I had a good time watching it. No real complaints, but it's no Menu, right? It's no, the last movie we just watched, Grafted. It's not a 5 out of 5 movie territory. Like, for me, it was like almost
my rating.
What's that?
Don't spoil my rating.
Oh, that's right. Shit. You gave it a 6 out of 5.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. So
loved it.
I mean, I liked it. I thought it was fun because, yes, it bridges that gap for pretty much our podcast, because obviously we talk horror, but we also talk wrestling because we're part of the Shining Wizards Network that has a lot of wrestling podcasts. And then obviously we have our metal stuff, but Jericho's and Fozzy, so we'll consider that metal. It's one of those movies that has a lot of the elements that would work well with our podcasts for things that we want to talk about. And this movie, you know what I loved about this movie, Corey, is that the references in this movie of like kayfabe and things like that.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, okay, you're speaking our language. And anyone who's listening to this podcast is going to be like, what the fuck is kayfabe? Kayfabe is committing to the bit. That's what it is.
Well,
it
that's
is just,
come up again already, damn.
Yeah. I mean, you got to throw it in there every fucking episode, maybe. And we're going to make a t-shirt, I assure you. But
what, it says kayfabe?
No, commit to the bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, we can do a kayfabe shirt too. I'm sure that would sell pretty well. But kayfabe is essentially commit to the bit. So when you're a wrestler, breaking kayfabe is like breaking character. So you never want to break kayfabe. You always want to be in character. And it's kind of like Dominic Mysterio. That dude does not break character.
Nope.
Like
never.
Ever.
Or John Cena.
Or John Cena. But John Cena is like the same fucking day in, day out. Yeah, he doesn't break character.
Always has been for 20 years.
Yep, always has been. What's his name too? MJF.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. He's always a dick.
Yeah, always a dick, never breaks character, shits on his parents just because. He's just like he's like the ultimate heel.
He makes kids cry at conventions. He makes fun of handicapped people.
Oh, gee. I saw one where it's like people dressed up as Macho Man Randy Savage, and he walks by and he's like, "Suck my dick, man."
That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, so good. But there was a lot of wrestling references in this movie because obviously with these smaller promotions and it being a wrestling-based movie, it's talking a lot of jargon, if you will. So the movie starts off pretty standard. Starts off with a wrestling match, and let me tell you, some of these wrestling names are fucking so thrown together.
So briefly though, you talked about wrestling references. The very beginning of the movie where we get that opening promo of all the wrestlers in the promotion,
Mm-hmm.
Introducing the roster. I thought that was a really cool touch.
Yeah, that was a really cool touch. And first thing I noticed, Mean Jolene. I'm like, is that Trevor from Grand Theft Auto 5?
Did you hear that he wants to come back for GTA 6?
Please.
No,
He's
but
like
did
one
you
of the
hear about
best-
this?
No, I didn't hear about
Okay,
this.
so he said he hopes Trevor is in GTA 6, but only if they kill him in the beginning of the game.
I could see that happening. Trevor, man, he was like one of the best parts of Grand Theft Auto 5 because he's just so backwoods. Pretty much Mean Jolene is Trevor. They're like one and the same.
Yeah.
If you look at Trevor and you look at Mean Jolene and the way he lives his life, it's damn near identical.
Yeah, he got to play his character in a movie.
Yeah, good for him. So, yeah, I love Grand Theft Auto 5. I hope he's in Grand Theft Auto 6 and gets killed in the first few minutes. And then I go, shucks. I just spent $120 on this game.
$120? Oh, because you buy the collector's edition?
No, I think it's going to be very expensive.
Oh, okay. Well, we're never going to get it anyways.
No, well, we'll probably get it in like 2026, 27, 28. I don't know. Every year for the next 20 years.
29, 30, 31.
30,
Yep.
30, yeah. They'll just keep coming out with like new versions of it every like year.
No, I mean the base game isn't even going to come out ever.
Oh, the base game ever?
No. Dude, they showed the first trailer for it in 2023.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And it's 2025 now. Yeah, they're saying something about 2026. So imagine dropping the trailer 3 years in advance. What the hell?
Yeah, we're just Rockstar things. They do the same shit with Red Dead Redemption.
But Red Dead Redemption, man, was fucking next level.
I never finished it.
Oh,
I just got tired of doing the same thing over and over again.
Just riding a horse, shooting things. I get it, but it's a relaxing game. It can be.
I've been meaning to go back to it because they remastered it for next gen. So,
oh yeah, I've been meaning to go back to it too because I have it for Xbox One, so I would just go back and play it. I don't have it for PlayStation 5 or anything like that. But I assure you, this is a horror podcast. There's so many things in this movie that are just hitting all of our fancy bones.
Fancy bones.
Fancy bones. It's like tickling our fancy. I didn't want to say tickling, but now here I am.
Yeah, you made it
tickling.
weird.
Now I'm being weird? Exactly. Now it's weird.
So is it just you with like that opening match or just me where you could hear them calling the match very loudly?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, you're supposed to really be careful when you're calling matches in wrestling. I think that's why a lot of them have long hair.
Yeah, hide their mouth a little bit.
Yep, to hide their mouth a little bit. It's just easier. I mean, not to mention it looks cool, but it's definitely easier to communicate with other wrestlers if the hair is over your face and you can just easily talk to them. But hard to do that for people who are bald. And these girls were just borderline screaming. Like, this is the next move. Okay, cool. I know everything that's going to happen now. But Misbehave, just walking in the ring with a fucking chains and she's just swinging that shit around. It's like, bro, what are you doing? This is not deathmatch. I mean, it does turn into deathmatch. Yeah, I mean, it does turn into deathmatch later on, but I mean, we'll get there, obviously. So she hits Kate the Great, which, by the way, one of the worst wrestling names I've ever heard. It's just so basic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they could have did something different. I assure you, I could have done a random name generator and come up with something.
I feel like Kate the Great is a character from, do you remember Glow?
Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
It sounds like something from that promotion.
It might be. I actually stopped watching that, I think, mid-season 1. There was an episode, I'm like, no, this is fucking not for me. This is dumb.
I love that show. And then they canceled it after was it 2 seasons?
Something like that.
Yeah.
But there was a scene where they're all trying on these new outfits and they're all being like, I don't know, cutesy, having fun about it. I was like, this is dumb. I'm done.
All right, Steve. Well, they apparently missed your watch there because they got canceled.
Exactly. I bet if I watched it, it would have kept going.
Yeah. This is all your fault. I liked that show a lot. So
sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, whatever.
Turn me
Pay
off.
me, pal.
What?
Pay me, pal.
Pay you, pal. Pay me. So as I'm watching this, I'm like cracking all these jokes in my fucking head. I'm like, is this going to be another movie where Chris Jericho has like top billing and we don't see him till like after the end credits or he just dies really quick? But no.
Yeah. To
No,
give
we
him the Terrifier treatment.
Yeah, the Terrifier treatment. That's what I was thinking initially, but no, we got a solid amount of Jericho in this. And Jericho plays a cult leader, and he was compelling as a cult leader. I mean, what do you think?
I agree. I wrote in my notes here that Chris Jericho as a cult leader is something I didn't know I needed in my life.
Yeah, it's one of his other characters. Oh, I mean, he's like in the learning tree at the moment, which is kind of culty, I guess.
Yeah, because he's got people joining him. And
Yeah, but it's still a little weird name of a faction. He's had that. He's had it was another faction right before that too, and I can't remember the name of it, but he just keeps doing it. He keeps creating these factions. Oh, like something circle, golden circle, I don't know, whatever. But he keeps
Inner Circle.
Thank you, Inner Circle. Yeah, he keeps making them. There was like the Inner Circle, now there's the learning tree, and in between that there was something else. I don't know. I think that's his thing these days. He just wants a group, and it's just not working out. I don't feel like it's really working out in AEW, those groups.
Yeah, stables as a whole are not working out over there.
No, not at all. I think there's too much of an abundance of them.
Yep, everyone's in a stable.
Yeah, I see all these stables. I'm like, what stable is this one now? I've never heard of this one. I know they're all over the place. They all have to have like a little click or something. It's whatever.
The click?
Yeah, the click. There's another stable I've just mentioned.
You accidentally answered.
Exactly. So yeah, as I'm watching this, I noticed that they had Kiss in the soundtrack.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, that's got to be some big money right there. Someone had to fucking bankroll that shit. Kiss
I think
is not cheap for anything.
Well, Jericho's good friends with I think all of them.
See, that makes sense. If he's like, he goes to them like, hey, can I throw on a Kiss song on this movie? And they're probably like, oh yeah, sure, pay us $40,000 or whatever.
Yeah, whatever the case is, like, there's no shot that an indie film would have got a Kiss song if it wasn't for Chris Jericho.
That's what I'm thinking, man. It's a small film. It's an indie film. There's not a lot of budget to it, I'm sure. Probably like a credible amount. I wouldn't say anything crazy, but to afford Kiss in the soundtrack for an indie film, kind of big deal. So we get introduced to all these characters, and then the promoter, he gets word from this other company where we eventually see that Jericho owns or is hiring them to go to, gets offered $50,000 to go there. And the guy's like, I'm going to be rich. I'm thinking to myself, that's not a lot of money. And then again, I was thinking to myself, I could use $50,000 right about now.
Yeah, but $50K sounds good, but they're splitting it between everyone.
Yeah, but knowing him, he probably would have like pocketed 40,000 and been like, we're splitting 10,000 tonight, and everyone's like, "Fuck yeah, I get like $500."
So, yeah, splitting 10,000 between like 5 people.
Yeah, which is not bad, right? With that 10,000 between 5 people, that's 2,000 each. That's a good night.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of wrestlers could dream of having that kind of money. Most of the time, they get paid in a peanut butter sandwich or something.
$25 in a PB&J.
Yep, exactly. A handshake in a PBJ with no bread. So just peanut butter and jelly, no bread. They can't afford it. It's not in the budget. So yeah, as they're walking through, like they're partying, things are going haywire. People are getting real fucked up. Mean Joe Lean, he gets real fucked up, but he sees some fuckery happening because he knows Chris Jericho. He knows who he is. He's familiar with his character. And no one was ready to listen to him yet. They're all partying. They're just like, whatever, man. It's fine. We're having a good time. It's going to be good, blah, blah, blah. And he seems like he's the one that's just really trying to warn people that a lot of shit is going to go down. We have to be careful. We have to get out of here. But no one was hearing it. Everyone heard money. They're getting paid. And they're like, we're going to stick around. Little do they know later on, these matches, these gimmick matches that they're involved in are completely absurd.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I want to say something real quick. I was turned off the fucking movie when a person said French fried. I'm like, want a French fried? I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Isn't it does it take place in America? Like, is that a thing somewhere else?
I don't know.
Because I heard it too and I was like, what?
Well, yeah. I was like, what is this shit? It's French fries. You're in America. It's an American thing to say. It's hamburgers, French fries. No, French fried with the D.
Yeah, I'm only going to say it that way from now on.
French fried. And I'm gonna, I don't know, man.
Or maybe when you melt into your couch, you can call it French fried.
Yeah. See, but I'm French fried when I'm fucking like on the couch. I'm just fucking molten lava after having a bunch of eddies. Just sinking, dude. I don't care. I love it. Sometimes I wonder if I can take an eddy, because when I take eddies, I want to take a bunch, right? I just want to fucking take a bunch, sit on the couch, fucking turn into leather, and that's it. Like, I want to just mold into the couch.
What's stopping you from doing that?
I mean, there isn't much, but I don't want to be like fucked up going to bed? Because I had a bad experience in Vegas about being fucked up on Eddie's and going to bed. You rapid fire dream. Ever rapid fire dream? I have.
No.
It's fucking nightmare material, man. You just fall asleep for 30 seconds. It has to be 30 seconds. And you have a full blown scenario in your head. It's like that movie with fucking Leonardo DiCaprio, Inception. It's just like, yeah, it's 30 seconds, but in my dream, it's been about 4 weeks of chaos. And now I'm awake.
Yeah, you're not going back to sleep after that one.
No. And that kept happening when I was in Vegas. It happened multiple times, and then I had to walk around at 3 a.m. just to kind of fucking shake it off.
Oh, really? Did you go walk the strip?
Yeah, I walked the strip, and I just looked at the lights, and I don't know, just got some air, and I was good to go after a little bit, but I had to walk about an hour just to fucking shake it off.
Steve walking around the streets of Vegas, losing his mind is hilarious.
By
I would
myself,
love to see that.
By myself, by the way.
Yeah.
No one's with me. That was pretty scary because I took 60 milligrams.
Oh my God. Don't they say to take like 5-10 max?
Yes.
Okay.
So I took 6 times the amount because I didn't know how much to take.
Well,
I'm blaming other people for not answering me.
you learned.
My Eddie friends who know the whole spiel of what to do. I'm like, hey, how many of these should I take? No one's fucking picking up.
You're
right.
like, I'll take all of them.
I guess I'm just going to take the whole pack. And I take the whole pack and I'm like, I don't feel anything. And this is like an hour after taking them. I'm thinking that maybe I have such a high tolerance that nothing doesn't do it for me. And that's when I was like, all right, I'm just going to go to bed. I go to bed and then I'm like, oh, I just kind of rose up from the bed like a fucking Dracula or something. And was like, whoa, like just everything was fucking pulsing and slow motion. I'm like, this is not good. I tried to go back to bed and just rapid fire dreaming over and over and over. And then,
Were you in the Flamingo? Is that when you were there?
Oh, yeah.
How many floors up were you? Because that building's big. We were just there, so.
I had to have been 10 floors up.
How the hell did you function?
Dude, I don't know.
Going down in the elevator 10 floors and then walking through that gigantic lobby.
I have no idea. I was a hot mess, man. An absolute hot mess trying to get to the fucking elevators. I remember just like trying to even function. Luckily, everyone in Vegas is pretty much fucked up for the most part anyway. So
Yeah. Even when the sun's out.
Right. Yeah, when the sun's out. Exactly. Well, just all the time fucked up. So I blended in real nice.
Were the streets popping at that time of night or morning?
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were still popping for sure.
Really?
Yeah, late at night. Vegas is a 24-hour place, man.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's always up all hours of the night. Yeah, so we're going off topic. Doesn't mean the movie's bad by any means.
So did you think Korn was playing when Word Up started playing?
Oh, God.
So
Yeah.
I did not know until this movie that's a cover.
You didn't know that?
No.
Really?
I did
No
not.
shit.
Because I'm thinking here, I'm like, holy shit, they played Kiss. Now they're playing Korn. I'm like, they spent some money on this movie.
Hey, we're getting our Korn reference in today, too.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't even think of that.
No,
This
that's
happens
funny.
every week.
Every week, man. Every week. So, yeah, I knew it was a cover, and I knew it was a cover because when they did cover it, it was on their greatest hits deal. I didn't like it. I was like, I don't like this. I'm not listening to this greatest hits at all. I'm just going to listen to their albums because that was on there, and I just couldn't do it. For some reason, I could not do it. They do some pretty decent covers, though. They got like one by Metallica and all this stuff.
Yeah, I like the Pink Floyd one.
I don't even think I've listened to the Pink Floyd one. I'll have to look that up later.
Didn't they do a Pink Floyd song?
You know, it wouldn't surprise me, man, at all.
Yeah, Another Brick in the Wall.
Oh, yes, that one. Okay, I do know that one. Yeah, that's a good one, too.
Okay,
But yeah.
I'm glad I didn't fucking botch my Korn knowledge there because I would
No,
have just.
you didn't.
I would have
I've got
ended
some. Yeah, I got some pretty solid Korn knowledge. For some reason, it just wasn't resonating with me. But as soon as you said it, I'm like, yep, okay, now I know. Yep.
You know, I mean, it starts the same way, so that's why, like, I picked up on it. I'm like, holy shit, this Word Up.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, back to the movie. They're at this party scene. All these girls are like trying to hook up with the wrestlers. Dude, immediately, like, I know this is a culty thing. Like, it just reeks of cult. And like people are drinking like this fucking Kool-Aid type shit and, you know, just getting fucked up. And all the girls are trying to like hook up with the guy wrestlers. And I'm thinking like, is this another Midsommar deal where they bring in people and the guys get the girls pregnant in the cult and that's how they build their cult up? But no, I guess that didn't happen. But that's immediately what I was thinking when I was starting to see some of this shit. But there were a lot of fun stuff about this movie. We had this masked dresser guy. What was his name again? Enigma. Yes. That dude never broke character except for one part.
I love that.
Yeah, that was a good part where he broke kayfabe. Essentially, he broke kayfabe just to say one little thing about him never breaking kayfabe. And that's all he needed to do. Other than that, he was just quiet the whole movie. Must have been, I don't break kayfabe. So 4 words the whole entire movie.
Did he? No, I think he only said kayfabe at the end.
Just kayfabe?
I think he only said that.
Which is one word.
Yeah, when he was dying and he goes, kayfabe.
Well, he said kayfabe. Okay, kayfabe when he's dying. Where Misbehave went into that room like they were escaping that green room. By the way, I was kind of thinking this was like a green room scenario. Have you ever seen that movie?
Green Room. That's the one with the music, the band, right?
Yeah, the band being locked in the green room, and they're in a biker bar where it's more like a Nazi bar or Nazi club, I should say. And they're just stuck in there. This kind of reminded me of that because they're stuck in this green room and the door's locked and they can't escape. But they find this little hole in the wall that the promoter and Misbehave, they both end up leaving. And Mean Jolene decides to stay behind because he wants to fight Jericho. But what I didn't talk about is the gimmick matches, man. Let's talk about the gimmick matches.
Yeah, the gimmick matches are awesome. I love the Earth match and the 3-second fire match or the Inferno match.
Yeah, I'm watching the Inferno match and I'm just thinking to myself, there's no way you can even have a match with this.
There's like a bonfire in the middle of the ring and then there's blowtorches on all 4 corners of the posts.
Yeah, how are you supposed to run the ropes? You can't run the ropes with that.
Nope.
If you do, you're just going to bump into the thing in the middle of the ring.
Yeah.
And then you have at the turnbuckles, fire flying in. So you have to just stay in one solitary spot as you're having this match. Or you just go to the other person, hey, come here real quick. And then they get lit on fire.
Yeah, it did not last long.
No, it did not last long at all. So Misbehave and Kate the Great, they got into a match. And I think this is the second time we actually see a sacrifice happen. And the first sacrifice was between, it was a tag match. And that was it a wind match, right?
Yeah, I think it started with wind, with the fans blowing in the middle.
Right. So the whole idea was 4 elements, these gimmick matches. So there was wind, fire, earth, and was there a water match?
Yes.
There was. Okay, a water match. So
there was all kinds of water on the mat.
Oh, that's right. You're right. Okay. For some reason I was forgetting that portion. But yeah, it's some fucking Fifth Element type shit. So doing the 4 elements and the first match, the wind match, it's a tag match. And there's this fan in the floor. Immediately I'm thinking that, dude, they're going to just fucking open that thing up and someone's going to get thrown into it. That's the sacrifice and, blood spraying everywhere. But no, that didn't happen.
I love a good old-fashioned mulching.
Yeah, me too. I enjoy a good mulch, but no mulch. Instead, we got a gnarly throat cut.
Yeah, throat cut was awesome.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I've seen... What?
Oh, no, I was going to say, I love the blood splatter when it was shooting up into the air.
Oh, it looked great.
It was because it was hitting the wind that was blowing up, and it was just blowing the blood across the ring and hitting the people in the audience. And
Yeah, I thought that looked really cool, those effects. It's very practical. Now, it was fucking gory, man. Very gory. The way they were cutting the throat almost reminded me of Stream. You remember that fucking throat cut?
The barbed wire, yep.
Yeah, the barbed wire. They didn't use barbed wire on this one. They used something else, right? But either way, he was getting just throat shredded. There's blood everywhere.
Yeah, I don't know what he used.
I don't remember, but I remember it being very violent. So yeah, they both died. Sacrifice happened, whatever. Next match, Kate the Great versus Misbehave. And this was the water match, right?
I believe it was, yeah, because it was wind, water, earth, and then fire.
Fire, yeah. So they're getting in this match here. And dude, immediately when I heard water, I'm thinking oh, this is going to be an acid bath or something like this, right? Like acid's going to rain down, like acid rain.
I thought maybe we're going to get an electrocution or something.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it before. We've seen all sorts of fucking shit. We've seen death matches where there's been piranhas.
Yep, true.
That's fucking nuts.
CZW used to do that.
Yeah, CZW. How do you
They did scorpions too once.
Scorpions?
Mm-hmm.
That's fucked up, man. If it's the big black scorpions, from what I gather, you don't have to worry too much. It's the little ones you have to worry about.
It was a long time ago. Let me see. I'm gonna Google it.
They've done all sorts of stuff. They've probably done a needle on a pole match, right?
Yeah,
Was it like loaded with hepatitis or something?
probably.
Probably. Imagine that being the fucking match. It's a needle. You have to get it, and you have to inject your opponent with hepatitis.
That'd be awesome.
Be fucking
That kind of happened with. Remember Nigel McGuinness?
yeah.
But it wasn't that. It was just no Abdullah the Butcher. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, Abdullah the Butcher. Well, he had hepatitis, and or still has it.
And he gave it to whoever he was wrestling.
Right.
Well, that's the story anyway.
Yeah, that's the story. The way he gave it to him supposedly was via a blade job, and the fork that he uses, he stabbed the other guy with it, and naturally now you're mixing blood and things like that, and the other guy's like, I got hepatitis because of him, and then he sued Abdullah the Butcher. Abdullah the Butcher doesn't really have much. He's no John Cena. He's not making a ton of money. He's probably gets some residuals here and there, but let's be honest, how much is he really making?
Did I ever show you the I have a signed Abdullah the Butcher fork?
Do you?
Yeah.
That's sick. You're gonna have to post that later.
Yeah, it's like wrapped in tape like he used to wrap his.
Oh God. Yeah, I feel like I maybe seen it when I was at your house at some point.
Maybe.
But you're gonna have to send me a photo.
I will.
Yeah. So water match is happening, and Kate the Great ends up DED dead, uppercase dead, via the hands of Misbehave. Misbehave user chain. And can't be using that shit, man. Those aren't like your small ass chains that you would see in I don't know, like wrapping around people's hands. These were like these fucking chunky looking things. Like the really big ass chains that you would
Toe chains.
use to fucking tow a car or something. Big ass fucking chains. So she kills Kate the Great, and this is where we get our twist that Kate the Great is related to the leader.
So I gotta ask, did you have any predictions regarding Kate the Great at all? Like that she
No.
was going to be involved or anything?
None whatsoever.
Okay, because somehow I did.
Really?
Yeah, it's my
Okay.
fourth note from the top. I said, is the big twist going to be Kate the Great as part of the cult?
How did you know that?
I don't know. I have a stupid ability apparently to predict that type of shit.
That's a pretty good pick. I would never have thought that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know why I thought it, but I just did. And I wrote it down just to be sure, I had proof.
Yeah, so, it kind of makes sense, though, because they kept asking for Kate the Great.
Yeah.
So it's like they know her. But then again, they knew all the other wrestlers. So maybe that's where you picked it up?
Maybe.
But, see, I didn't pick that up. As I'm watching it, I'm just like focused on the really bad gimmick name of Kate the Great. And I just
That
can't-
really
I can't-
bothers you.
It bothers me. It's lazy writing. So I just could not get past it. And then Kate the Great dies, and we find out that's the leader's daughter, and he's pissed. But ultimately, the idea here is sacrifices are required, and his daughter paid the sacrifice. So on to the next match. And dude, the next match, the Earth match, this was the fun one because this is your Taipei deathmatch type deal.
Dude, I'm like, this is some kickboxer shit.
Yeah, we've seen this before with Axel Rotten and Balls Mahoney.
Yeah, they did it too back in ECW.
Yeah, dude, I remember that match just started off so like gentle. I think it was Axel Rotten punched Balls Mahoney in the arm, and you see just blood immediately.
Yeah.
And then it just turned into a brawl, like a straight brawl. They're like hitting each other at the same time, and there's blood everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And
It was awesome.
it was awesome. That's basically what happened here is that this Earth match, they have their taped up hands, they're dipping it in glue, they're dipping it in glass, and then they go wrestle. And Enigma dips his hands into the glass. Shit hurts, I'm sure. But then they start their kickboxer shit. No Tong Po, no Jean-Claude Van Damme. It's just Enigma and another wrestler. And Enigma dies. He's sacrificed, or so we think. He was playing kayfabe. Remember this stuff.
I still don't know how he did that because he clearly got stabbed in the stomach.
Yeah, he got quite stabbed, like big ass piece of glass in his stomach. And then he just proceeded to fake die or commit to the bid or do kayfabe because he had to play the sacrifice. I mean, shit, they probably could have done that the whole time, right? They all could have just committed to the bit, did their kayfabe, pretend they're dead, and then sacrifices doesn't go through.
Yeah.
That type thing. Yeah,
Sure.
sure.
Could
Why
have been
not?
done different.
It could have been. So he fake dies, and they bring him back. They're like all in this like dirt room where the bodies are being set up to look almost like a pentagram. And they're setting up like these fucking candles and stuff. This is clearly ritualistic cult shit, which I'm all about. I love that cult shit.
Yeah, we love cults.
Yeah, they're just fucking crazy. They're just wild to read or wild to see. So he fake dies. At this point, Mean Jolene takes Misbehave and the promoter, and he finds like this hole in the wall, and he's just like, go in there and go escape, find help. I got to take care of this. So he goes and has his match, which is the fire match. And that's over in no time. That's a squash match like you wouldn't believe. They borderline just walked in. The other guy just got set on fire. It's like, oh, just done.
Yeah, it was over as soon as it started. That's for sure.
Yeah. So squash match. And now he's going up against the leader, which Chris Jericho at this point. And Chris Jericho is fucking him up. But as that's happening, Enigma, he actually gets up from his fake death because he bumps into Misbehave, is like trying to escape. When she went through that little hole, it actually led to that area where all those bodies are being set up in that pentagram order. And she wakes him up and she's like, I thought you were dead. And he just says, never break kayfabe. I think that's what he said, never break kayfabe, because I wrote it down.
He just said kayfabe.
Is it just kayfabe?
Yeah.
Just kayfabe?
I'm pretty sure it was just kayfabe. Now we're gonna have to go back and watch it.
We're gonna have to go back and watch it. Oh no, you're right. Kayfabe. That's all he said, because I actually just wrote this down in my notes. I had to go back. So all he said the whole time, kayfabe. That's all he said.
Love it.
Fuck yeah, love it. Now that's committing to the bit. That's just giving kayfabe away a little bit. But I think you can do that with other wrestlers. It's the crowd where you can't break character. You have to make sure.
You got to make sure it's believable.
Yeah, you have to make sure it's believable, because people believe in the character and they think it's real. Man, they used to think that back in the day, but we're smarter now.
Yeah, like you remember when Iron Sheik was a heel back in the day?
Yeah.
And people used to literally send him death threats or follow him to the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Crazy, man. They used to do all that shit. Tons of death threats. Like Sergeant Slaughter was another one. He got a lot of death threats because he disowned the United States of America in favor of Saudi Arabia.
That's right.
Yep. He got a lot of trouble for that. And I don't know, WWE was doing those things where they would get people that were relevant to the time. So if it was the Cold War, they'd have a heel that was Russian, and they would do that shit. So back in those days, they couldn't break kayfabe. So Jericho at this point is beating the shit out of Mean Jolene, where you would think that Mean Jolene, a.k.a. Trevor from Grand Theft Auto 5, would be beating the shit out of this guy, because Trevor's an animal. I mean, even when you play Grand Theft Auto, you've played it, right? Grand Theft Auto 5?
Of course. I played all of them. I love that series.
Yeah, the whole series is great.
Although,
Trevor,
I can't say that I ever beat it, though, because I got to that mission with like the flying RC helicopter or plane or something. Do you remember that?
Oh, I remember that.
I got so pissed, I uninstalled the game and I never went back. So, yeah.
I know which one you're talking about. That's San Andreas, I believe.
Was it?
I think so, because I'm fairly certain it was for PlayStation 2.
Okay. Well, I've never finished a Grand Theft Auto game.
Oh, my God.
I don't know, man. I'm just not really into the open world games.
Which is funny, because you and I are literally playing an open world game right now.
It's different.
It's different. What? How is it different?
It's just different.
Okay. Is it because you're not getting shot at, or like a rocket's flying at you or whatever?
You know what's funny? For those listening, we're talking about a game called Throne and Liberty. It's like this new MMO. If you play it, come find us.
Yeah.
But
Catch me outside.
I don't know, man. I'm really into that game, and typically I don't like grindy games. And yeah, that one's open world and the world is massive, but like I like that you can do stuff with random parties, and I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I'm glad I don't have to pay money like fucking World of Warcraft style.
Oh yeah, and that too, it's free.
Yeah, it's free. That's the important thing here, is that it's fucking free. Because if you're going to get into a game like that with that kind of crazy commitment, cut us a fucking break. Because Blizzard is making ungodly amounts of money right now with World of Warcraft, and they always will. They'll make that money for a very long time. So what I was hoping for one day was a StarCraft online. Never got it.
Dude, StarCraft 2 is still like something I'll go back and play every so often.
Yeah, I still do. I play it occasionally. Love that game. I would love like an open world version of that. I think that would be so damn cool.
Wouldn't play it.
You wouldn't play it? Well, you don't
Never.
like open world games unless it's Throne and Liberty.
Yep, fuck them all.
Okay, then. Fair enough. So
it's just, I don't know. It's just too much to do. I want to play like just like a linear game.
Well, play Carrion then.
I downloaded it last night actually, because it's on Game Pass now.
Oh, sick. Dude, you're going to fucking love it. Play it on a computer though.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that game, I beat it last night. So that was the second time I beat it, but I'm going to go back again, and because I'm missing 2 achievements.
Okay. I started Ninja Gaiden Black 2 restarted it. The remastered one
Oh, it's remastered. Okay.
just came out like last week. It's on Game Pass for free.
Oh shit. Okay. I have to either get an Xbox Series S or just start downloading shit on my computer like crazy.
I got a new computer so I could play the new Indiana Jones game.
Fair enough. That's a good idea. So yeah, let's get back into it though.
God damn.
I know we're
It's
fucking
like
going
the
up.
10th time we rambled.
I know we keep rambling, man. So yeah, Mean Jolene is fighting Chris Jericho at this point. Misbehave actually goes in the ring and beats the shit out of Jericho, ends up fighting him and stabs him. And that's the final sacrifice, if you want to think of it that way. So he gets sacrificed in the ring. They leave. The place is on fire because they lit shit on fire, I guess. And I love the comment by the promoter of their company. And it's like, I told you it was going to be a barn burner. I'm like, but
Nice little zinger.
yeah,
Right before the goblin shows up.
Yeah. Oh man,
Dude, I laughed out loud when that thing showed up.
unnecessary, but I get why they did it.
Yeah, but it just derailed all my excitement. Like, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't. Nope. Hated the ending.
Sometimes you have these movies and they're good, and then all of a sudden, this one thing that happens at the end that fucking tarnishes the whole movie.
Mhm.
It's like, okay, now this is fucking cheesy.
That's what happened to me.
Yeah, for me, like, and it's not a big one, but it's definitely Insidious. Insidious as a whole is really good. And then at the end, you have that very last jump scare. It's like, come on, really? It just makes it cheesy when that could have ended perfectly without the last scare from that fucking entity. Whatever.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just, it's less is more kind of thing.
I'm a big fan of less is more in movies. If you can pull off the movie really well with less, why add more? Just because you have the ability to add more doesn't mean you should. And I think this is one of the cases in this movie. Everything else was good. And then as soon as the demon shows up, like the ground is splitting. And then we have this fucking half demon, half centaur looking thing coming out of the ground and Misbehave. She's just like, okay, I'm not going to break kayfabe. I'm going to beat the shit out of him with my chain.
She's going to fight a demon. All right.
She's going to fight a demon. And I'm immediately thinking Dark Match 2, Wrestler versus Demons.
Yeah, they kind of set it up for a sequel, I think.
Yeah, it is kind of set up for a sequel. Maybe like the whole world gets dominated type deal. The wrestlers need to like maybe fight the demons in wrestling matches in order to take back the land. I don't know. I can write it. Just let me know. I'll fucking set the whole thing up. And I just want to be part of a movie. Just put me in a movie. I'll be hot dog vendor who dies at the hands of a demon or some shit.
Okay.
I don't even need to have a name. Just be hot dog vendor.
Lowell Dean is listening to this episode and he's going to cast you in the sequel to Dark Match.
All right. Imagine if like the world's gone to shit. There's fire everywhere, destruction. And then there's little old me who's like, people need to eat. So I've got my hot dog vendor deal set up. I don't know.
That seems like a very Steve thing.
It is a pretty Steve thing to do. I just walk around because this is all going to be wrestling matches to fight the demons and take back the world from whatever demon, like Satan or something. So Misbehave has to fight Satan later on. Who knows? And I'm just walking around with my little box of hot dogs and Cracker Jacks and just be like, hot dogs, Cracker Jacks.
Are you in a baseball game or are you in hell?
I'm in hell / a wrestling match outside. So I don't know. It's silly, but I think it'd be funny.
Don't forget the frozen lemonades.
Oh, of course not. Dude, always. And I won't fuck around with that. I'll pour like vodka in it if like you want to pay the upcharge. I'm like,
no, I'm not
right.
paying for extra for it.
Oh, fuck you then.
So yeah,
Misbehave. Yeah, we see this demon and the CGI is fine.
They spent the budget on Chris Jericho.
Yeah, exactly. They spent most of the budget on Jericho and maybe that Kiss song. So
Yep.
yeah, I don't know. I think we can get into it though, Corey. What do you give Dark Match?
This gets a 3 out of 5 for me. I was excited about another wrestling themed horror movie, but this one was just okay at best. I didn't hate it, but the story really didn't make any sense. The acting was mediocre. And again, the ending ruined most of any enjoyment I had for this film.
Yeah, I could see that. I kind of felt the same way. So for me, it's same thing. I'm going to go with 3 out of 5 as well. It was a fun movie if you're a wrestling fan. Acting was, for the most part, fine. The gimmick matches I could see being in CZW if they had a bigger budget. I wouldn't put it past them because they've done some crazy shit. Music was fine. Nothing I would go home like and rave about score-wise. The wrestlers' names could have used a little bit more originality to them as they felt thrown together. I mean, come on, Kate the Great. I was ranting about that for most of this podcast.
Yeah, you're really upset about this. Damn.
I'm just like, come on, whatever. The demon at the end felt a little silly, but in a way kind of makes sense because otherwise there would have been a massive plot hole. And the massive plot hole being that there was a lady who was like his second in command and she didn't die. She just got knocked out. She was in on the whole thing. So that had to be tied up. Well, I mean, she could have been killed early in the film and that would have been fine. That would have covered everything. Mm-hmm. But without her summoning the demon, like we wouldn't have known what happened to her. So in a crazy sense, kind of cleared up a plot hole. I wouldn't say it cleared it up in a good way, but at least it didn't bring up any additional questions.
Yeah, because if anyone's going to catch the plot holes, it's going to be you.
Exactly. I will find those plot holes and I will just be like, what the fuck? So I didn't see any other than that. I will say this, I probably won't go back and watch it, but I had fun watching it, which is really important. But if you're interested in watching Dark Match, it's up for streaming now on Shudder. So if you're a fan of wrestling, I mean, check it out. It's a fun one. All right, everyone, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and YouTube. Leave us a 5-star review on all podcast platforms so we can get some more exposure. Of course, tell your friends. Both our intro and outro music are courtesy of Andrew Scott Bell. Be sure to check out Andrew on all major streaming platforms. And if you see Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey on vinyl in the wild, be sure to pick it up. We're also part of the Shining Wizards Network. Be sure to visit shiningwizardsnetwork.com. They're an awesome podcast network ranging from wrestling to heavy metal, horror, all that good stuff. So check that out. Visit 30screamsorless.com for all previous episodes and transcripts to go with those episodes. Also, check out beardoctane.com for their whole line of grooming supplies. And be sure to use the code 30screams10 at checkout for 10% off your order. And if there's anything you want us to review, send an email to 30screamsorless@gmail.com or hit us up on social media. Use hashtag 30screamsorless. And also, we have some awesome merch for sale on our website, so definitely check that out. If you go to our website, at the very top, there's a shop link. Click that link, and you'll see all sorts of shirts, hats, mugs, things like that. If you buy it, it helps going towards our hosting costs. I'm Steve.
I'm Corey.
And thanks for listening to 30 Screams or Less. And don't forget to drink your beans.